Hey everybody, welcome back to BigRedEDC. Well, today we are going to be checking out another Harnds knife. This is the Harnds Wolverine. I've been seeing a little bit of this one around. Now, I'm totally going to blame this knife on Christine from Women Carry Knives. Not necessarily the Wolverine specifically, but the Harnds in general, because I was watching one of her videos. I can't remember exactly which one it was. But she was reviewing a Harnds knife, and every time I see somebody review a Harnds, I'm like, man, I need to review more Harnds knives because they make some pretty decent knives at a pretty good price. And so what did I do? I immediately went to Amazon and I bought the Wolverine. So, Christine, this knife is your fault, and all I can say is thank you very, very much. Let's zoom out and let's take a look at it. So there you go. The Harnds Wolverine. As you can see, you've got that red and black G10, which, I mean, red and black, I mean, yeah, I was going to grab that one. There was no question. Red, or excuse me, that's red. No, it's not, dummy. It's black. A black G10 backspacer on it. You've got about maybe, a third of the coverage for the backspacer. You do have a lanyard hole. Woohoo! Lanyard, folks. Now you do have this kind of a little bit wide pocket clip, not overly deep carry. We'll definitely talk about that a little bit more here recently. And then you've got that pop of blue on the pivot collar. Now, since we're talking about this, it really surprised me, the blue, because you've got red and you've got black. A red pivot collar, maybe, but a blue, it just seems a little bit out of place to me for a blue pivot collar, even a black pivot collar. I don't know. It just seems kind of out of place with that blue. It looks good. I mean, it's a really nice looking blue color, but yeah, kind of seems a little odd seeing the color of the knife. If it was all black and then that would be blue, yeah. But it was odd, that's all. There you go. You got the H on the pivot. I like, and believe it or not, this is one of Nellie's big things with knives, when they take advantage of the pivot to do some sort of branding. That's one of her things. So, good job, Harnds. You're going to make Nellie very happy. Quick look around. Everything is chamfered really nicely. Liners are nice and finished. I mean, overall, the finish of the knife is pretty darn good. Now, our screws aren't fully flush, but they're inset pretty well. Then again, like I said, the pivot, it does stand up a bit. But for the most part, everything is done really, really well. Flipper, of course, jimping on the flipper, it's there. Does it do you much good? Not really, and you've kind of got that downward angle on the flipper, so, I mean, my finger has, slipped off a couple of times, so the jimping's just kind of for show, and the flipper, like I said, with that downward angle, it does lend to slip a little bit. Let's check our centering. Centering looks pretty darn good. Yeah. Yep, we're digging it. Stainless liners on it. Now let's flip it. Nice. Very, very... That's a pretty darn good action on it. Detent. Detent is dialed in at actually... Yeah. And it might even be... It could lend to be the flipper tab too, but it actually almost might be a little on the too tight side. But, I'm kind of okay with that. It's done really, really well. And it's not coming out. So, yeah, detent, super, action, pretty darn good. Riding on bearings, of course. Let's check out that blade. That's kind of a wild-looking blade, but I'm digging it. 14 C28N, y'all know I'm digging that one. One of my favorite blade steels, without question. Nice ramp with the jimping. Now, that jimping, yeah, buddy. That jimping is all that and a bag of chips. That thumb gets in there, especially with that ramp. It's not going anywhere. Check out that choil. Not too bad. Not too bad. Satin finish on that blade, like I said, 14C28N. Let's get some muck off there. It's got some muck on it. Not bad though. Nice kind of, just I guess you would basically call it a drop point. I mean, it is kind of, I mean, you could call it I don't know. You can call it whatever you want to call it. I call it pretty cool. That's kind of what I call it. You got the big old Harnds there. I know a lot of people won't like that. Could it be smaller? Sure. I mean, you got the H there. Yeah, or maybe even there. I get it. Wolverine 14C28N. That's not too bad. That's pretty small. But overall, yeah. All right. Let's get a size. What do we got here for specs? So, overall, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, pretty much right at 8 inches long. Let's see, handle length. I'm going to give the handle length 4 and 5/8 because it does stretch just a little bit. Our blade length, we're going to be looking at right about 3.5-ish on the blade length, and then your cutting edge is pretty much the same. Tip to tip, 3 3/4 for your grip length. Now, this does have the multi-finger grooves, and that is probably not going to lend itself to... It is comfortable for me. Surprise, imagine that. Yes, it does fit my hand size very well. And there's the 3 3/4 inch grip length in my basically 3 3/4 inch hand. It does extend just a little bit past it. But yes, it fits my hand pretty darn well. People with larger hands, you might be forced, out of those finger grooves just a little bit. But yeah, I'm digging it. It's good for me. That's pretty much all I can say. It does work for me. There it is up against the PM2. Pretty close. I mean, really. We're right. Go pivot to pivot. I mean, yeah. You're darn near right on the ball. Maybe just a hair for the... Oh, man. It's so hard, though. It's pretty darn close. Pretty darn close. So PM2, that's pretty much right there as far as length goes. There's our bug out. A little bit bigger than the bug out, of course. Let's get a weight. Scale on. Now, do we have any? Oh, yeah. You got some skeletonization going on there. You can see the squares cut out. Even, let's see here. Turn that on. Turn it down a little bit. But there you go. You can see you definitely got some pockets in there. There's one back there. And then there is, let's see. Yeah, there's some pockets going on in there. So a little bit of weight reduction going on. Never a bad thing. I like it. So let's see. Grams. What do we got? 106. So what's that going to be? What is that? 4.2? No. 3.7. Oh! I swear to God, I didn't know that ahead of time. I swear to God. Yeah, I don't know the conversion either. So not a bad weight. Right there, y'all know that 3.5 to 4 to 4.5, that's pretty much I like it, especially when I'm working. I like that size of knife. Because one, it's still rather light, but two, lets me know that I have something in my hand. I swear to God, I didn't know that. Swear I didn't know that beforehand. Overall, what do I like? What do I don't like? What do I like? I like the overall shape and profile of the handle. Everything is done pretty darn well. The finish is done well. The action detent, really good. Oh, let's check out. We didn't look at our access. access. We'll talk about access here in a minute. That could give you a hint. The blade, I'm digging it. I'm digging that blade, the 14C28N. Yep, that's definitely right there. Ramp with the thumb, jimping, locks you into that grip. So, yeah. All around, not bad. Man, what am I doing to that blade? I'm just getting all sorts of gunk on it. What do I don't like? It's not that I don't like. Like I said, I found the blue pivot collar just a little odd. It just seems out of place to me. But does it bother me? Nah, not that bad. I'm still digging the knife overall. Ergos. Ergos are really good. That pocket clip, I can feel it. And I can feel where, for certain people, it might be an issue. For me, it's not too bad. Is it bad enough to call it a hot spot? Not really. I mean, I used it a bit at work, and I really didn't. But I can see where it could be for some. Yes. I could definitely see that. We didn't do our carry. So there you go. I mean, you got about a 1/2 inch sticking out. So, but it's a smaller profile. So that's not bad. The retention on the pocket clip is very good. No issues there. Pretty smooth in and out of the pocket. You got a decent ramp. A little bit of pop on the out. But, I mean, overall, it's a pretty solid knife. I can see where the pocket clip probably could be an issue for some. I fully understand that. For me, it wasn't a big issue, but I could feel it. We'll just put it that way. I could feel it. Overall, yeah, it's a pretty darn solid knife. We're gonna give it. Blue is gonna give it a solid. He's gonna give it an 8. Overall, if that pocket clip was a little bit different, we could probably see that jump up to an 8.5. But overall, it's a pretty solid knife, guys. What did these sell for? I bought this one off Amazon for $38. You know, for $38, G10, 14C28N, everything you get in this knife. Yeah, that is a really solid price in my opinion. I'm digging it all day long. I really have no problem with that. So, yeah, there you go, guys. Like I said, I'll blame this knife on Christine, and I'll happily blame this knife on women carrying knives because, well, you know what? I really liked it. Pretty solid knife. And again, Harnds, I've had, I don't know, I've probably had maybe 4 or 5 Harnds knives on the channel, and one was, but the other ones, I mean, we had, what do we have? We had the Talisman, we've had the Wolverine, we've had the Wind. Yeah, all decent, well done knives. I mean, yeah. So far, I've been pretty impressed with Harnds. You know, 4 out of 5, we'll call it. Not bad. Not bad. They can't all be winners. Would be nice, but you know, sometimes. Thanks a lot, guys, for checking out the Harnds Wolverine with me today. As always, like, subscribe, leave me that comment. You know I love talking to y'all. Until next time, I'll talk to y'all later, guys. Bye-bye.